Hello and welcome to ABA Made Easy. I'm Mauricio, and today we'll be talking to Jeanne Luis, a BCBA and president of One-on-One Behavioral Services. Thank you for joining me, Jeanne.
Hi, Mauricio. You're really using your platform to disseminate ABA in a fun and exciting way, and also easy to understand. So I'm really excited to join you today.
Thanks. All
You
right.
have to add it up so much. Oh my God.
Behind how me and Jeanne met. We actually were both behavioral technicians in South Florida working together, and that's how we met. And then she went on to get her BCBA, and I stayed with a BCABA. But yeah, so I wanted to ask you to start this whole interview off. What got you into behavior analysis, and what did your career path kind of look like?
Yeah, so I got into behavior analysis about 11 years ago after taking my first psychology course titled Intro to Applied Behavior Analysis, and that was an undergrad. And immediately I became intrigued with its concepts and its theories, and with my professor's guidance, I eventually started my career in ABA as a behavior technician. And yes, that's where we met, at the same ABA company. And from there, my passion grew. I eventually earned my bachelor's and in psychology and my BCABA. And from there, my passion grew, and I eventually I stayed in the field, and I pursued my BCBA and earned my master's at Florida Tech, which is an amazing school. I really recommend it. Now I've had my BCBA for about 2 years now, and I just opened up my own ABA company in South Florida. And the reason why I continue in this field is because I see the positive effects that ABA has on individuals and its families, and really in my own life and my loved ones' lives. So I really know that ABA can make the world a better place, and I genuinely feel that it can save the world. So I really want to introduce it to as many people as possible, and which is why I appreciate what you do so much on YouTube. So.
No, and congratulations on starting your own company. That's awesome. There's such a
Thank
need
you.
for more therapists out there, more people getting trained. There's such a shortage out there, so that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wanted to make this video a little bit educational.
Yeah.
So I know we focus a lot on reinforcement and what comes after behavior in ABA.
Right.
But I wanted to actually talk about antecedents and antecedent manipulation. Can you briefly explain what an antecedent is?
Yes, we do focus a lot on reinforcement, and for good reason, right? Because reinforcement is definitely important for long-term change, right? And we should never exclude it. Rather, what we should do is always supplement it with antecedents and antecedent interventions when possible. So an antecedent, simply put, is the addition of a stimulus um, that occurs prior to a behavior. So those are the two requirements. It's a stimulus, and it's prior. It occurs prior to the behavior that you're observing or targeting. And that stimulus could be anything from an event, as long as it's observable. It can be an event. It could be the introduction of a person, the introduction of an object, and so on and so on, other than the behavior of the individual itself. Okay. And antecedent interventions would simply be interventions that we can put in place before a behavior happens. And the reason behind these antecedent interventions are to prevent a behavior from happening. And usually those are problem behaviors.
Yeah, well said. That was a very good explanation of antecedents and when we would use them. And yeah, like you said, it's to prevent the behavior from occurring in the first place. So you don't even have to intervene. If you prevent it from happening at all, then that solves the problem right there.
Exactly. Everyone's more happy.
Yeah, everyone.
Happier.
Yeah, just avoid the whole situation altogether.
Yeah, yeah. I do feel that as practitioners, we can lean on antecedent interventions before jumping to more intrusive procedures, such as extinction or punishment. And you'll come across those a lot in the field. Hopefully not, and hopefully they're justified. But I still feel like they're go-tos. And although they are extremely helpful in certain cases, they should be used sparingly and with caution because, again, they are intrusive and they're very difficult to implement for everyone, the caregivers and the RBTs. So that's why I do side with, kind of jumping to antecedent interventions and using reinforcement in conjunction, just because, of those benefits that it has. You're avoiding the problem behavior, but you're also producing that valuable behavior. So you get kind of both and easily. And you get the cooperation of stakeholders and ideally more smiles around. So, and there's a lot of highly effective antecedent interventions, some that are less familiar, like high probability request sequence, non-contingent reinforcement. The list goes on, but there's also more familiar ones like, providing choices, using timers and visual schedules and so on.
Yeah, awesome. Well said.
Thank you.
So when targeting different behaviors, let's say tantrum, how would you use antecedent interventions to tackle that behavior? And what are the benefits of using those antecedent manipulations?
Yeah, so at first we always look at the function. So, and the function is determining why a behavior is happening and what's maintaining it. So we're always going to look at that first, and it's going to guide us in using the correct antecedent intervention. And once we know the function, let's say that tantrums are currently reinforced by access to tangibles. So specifically, let's say in this example, it's a toy sold at a store. Okay, so this means that tantrums happen because a child wants a toy at a store. So let's say that when Bob looks at a toy, we'll use Bob. He really likes this. He really likes at a store. He really likes the toy at the store, and he'll bring it up to mom and he'll say, "I want this toy, mom." And mom will say, "No, I don't have any money right now." So Bob throws a tantrum. And mom eventually gives in because she can't stand the tantrum itself and she can't stand everyone looking at her, right, and staring at her. And those are very powerful punishers. So this would be the perfect scenario to implement an antecedent intervention. So it's very hard to change that consequence. So we're going to target what happens prior to Bob seeing the toy. So instead, we can avoid the whole thing together. We can modify the antecedent. So we're going to decrease the value of the toy, or we can also decrease the probability that Bob will look for one. So this can be done in numerous ways. So we can introduce non-contingent reinforcement. So basically giving Bob a fun activity that's not contingent on his behavior at all. So we're throwing in a fun activity that he can do at the store, like scavenger hunt or playing Simon Says. That way he's distracted, so he doesn't really look for that toy, and it's less valuable for him. We can also do the PREMAC principle, which is first you do this, then you do that, then you get this. So he can get computer time at home if he walks out without a toy. We can also use deprivation, right, by introducing a valuable toy that he can't get at home that's withheld for a certain amount of time, and we only introduce it when he's at that store. So there's different ways that we can, and then of course we always provide differential reinforcement so that, these things occur long term.
Yeah. And I mean, if Bob has his toy that he really, really likes, and he sees that other toy on the shelf, obviously he's going to be so distracted by this toy that he loves. So that's awesome. Like you said, happier for everyone. But like you also said at the beginning, you got to find out the function of the behavior, and that's what guides your plan and how you're going to intervene with that.
Right, right.
Awesome. Well, you made it very simple to understand, so that's awesome. You threw in some behavioral terms that I'm sure a lot of technicians and other people studying for the exam are going to appreciate. So thank you for that. So like we were talking about earlier, you recently started your own company in ABA, and thank you again for bringing people into the field and fulfilling that shortage. Can you tell us a little bit about your company and how people can get a hold of you?
Yeah. So we offer ABA services to individuals diagnosed with autism, ADHD, and also beyond. Because we're not ABA is not restricted to just those populations. So and we serve in Miami and Homestead, Florida, and we are fairly still very very new and very small. And I still am the only BCBA, and I basically do everything. But this gives us the opportunity to really provide RBTs with substantial oversight and enough oversight to offer those high quality services to our clients. So yeah, I really do believe in the power of reinforcement. Sorry, I strongly believe in it and how everyone can use it to produce better outcomes, and at the same time, more importantly, it makes others' lives more meaningful and in line with their values. So yeah, reinforcement is key, and I really do think that antecedent strategies fall in line with that. And just like you are doing, dissemination is really my goal here. You can reach me at Jeannie@onebehavior.com, or you can visit my website at onebehavior.com.
Onebehavior.com.
Yes, www.onebehavior.com.
Okay, awesome. One last thing before we go.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're aware of this, but Central Reach, if you go on
Yeah.
institute.centralreach.com, they're offering free CEUs to BCABAs and BCBAs. You just have to sign up and subscribe to the like $49.99 plan, which is free right now because of this whole situation. Uh, but that's good information because I know that you also provide supervision for like BCABAs or technicians as well. So
Yeah, it's a great opportunity.
yeah, it really is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything else you'd like to share with the world?
I think just persevere. This field is tough, but it brings a lot of benefits. The benefits outweigh the tough times. So just stick through. We really need you guys. And
Yes, love that.
yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Jeannie. Always nice seeing you. And
Always nice seeing you too.
we'll see each other in person this time, but whatever, technology. We got technology, so we use it.
That's true. Yeah. Take care.
All right, peace.